So hello all. Hope you can all hear me and see me. It's Anni here, your friend, and my channel is support channel for all the caffeine quitters. If there is some new subscribers, and I'm very happy to have you. So today I'm gonna do this live with my sweet friend Mandy from Texas, but Mandy is not yet here. She's gonna join this live a little bit later. So I'm gonna just chat with you a little bit and welcome all the caffeine quitters here to join with the chat, of course, if you have any questions. And of course, anyone can benefit this information that we are sharing, even if you are still on caffeine or maybe you are planning to quit this drug. This is always very good information that we are sharing. And if you are new to my channel, please check also other videos that I have done with Mandy. You can find those in my channel's live section. And of course, these with Mandy, what I do are mostly in English. I have tried to translate some of these, but my translation skills are still very poor. So I'm sorry about that, but maybe later I will learn to do more of that. But now this live will be in English, unless somebody is in the chat and just you can like add some questions, of course, then I can translate those questions in Finnish also, and I can say those questions in the Mandy. Että jos joku siellä on ja katsoo tätä eikä ymmärrä englantia, niin mä en ihan tätä koko liveä mä en pysty kääntämään suomeksi, koska mun englannin kielen taito ei ole niin hyvä, että mä pystyisin kääntämään niin hyvin, mutta jos jotakin kysymyksiä tulee kofeiinin lopetukseen liittyen Mandille, niin chatissa voi laittaa myöskin suomeksi kysymyksiä, niin mä sitten voin ne kysymykset kääntää Mandille ja sitten vastaukset kääntää suomeksi. Niin tervetuloa myös kaikille suomalaisille seuraajille, mutta englanti on kielis, so English will be the language. And first I will check that everything is working. The voice. Tervetuloa myös kaikille. Yes, it seems like it. Sometimes always I have some technical problems, so let's see. So if you are watching this and you hear me, you see me, you can put something in the chat if you are there. But seem that this is working. So I'm excited to do this live. And next month for me it will be 4 years without any caffeine. Yoo-hoo! And I'm so grateful. And I'm just so grateful that my channel have been getting new subscribers. I also have been doing more now other lives also about freedom stuff, New World Order stuff, all kind of lives, Pilates lives, because I can, and I have strength and I have energy, and I have started to just get my life back. And that's just so amazing if I can watch where I did start. Completely anxiety, burnout, not functional, to living my life and enjoying and having this gratefulness and gratitude for each day, and that I can support you, and that I feel in my heart truly that this is my mission to do this work and be here with you, whoever is going through these symptoms and this post-acute withdrawal journey, and wherever you are in your when did you feel more functional and this, and we're gonna go in those questions also in this live, I know, but I also want you to say that you will get better. You really do. It's only the time, really. And I know people want to quick fixes, and now I know, hi Hardik, and I know it can be so confusing sometimes, because when you have that brain rewiring going on and your nervous system is sensitized, and some people say you that do this, some people say don't do that, and some people get like scared, and I know it's hard. So that's why always like you have to find your own way to go through this, because like time is the healer. Everybody heals with time, but while you are going through this and your nervous system is so sensitive and everything is like what I cannot handle any stress, and people are commenting and everything is hard. I know. I were there. I know when your brain is not normal, everything is hard. It's all under the anxiety umbrella, these symptoms. It really is hard. So that just gets better. And that's why I always, when I relax, you just keep going. Your brain knows what to do. Your body knows what to do. You don't have to worry. You are doing the right thing. Just stay quit and stay away from mind-altering drugs. Like I always say, all the mind-altering drugs. Of course, that's up to you. Are you quitting everything? But that's my recommendation. And caffeine, of course, the number one brain-damaging drug. Some people doesn't want to hear that, but it's just something that need to be said again and again, because our society is just marketing that drug everywhere. Movies, commercials, everywhere. It's just so normal. But what says Hardik? Let's read. Can you list a few things that we can do to heal faster? Because I figured out that I'm eating a lot of junk and I think that is delaying my healing. What do you say? Do you know that I was thinking so much about diet in my journey, and I did eat like very healthy. Sometimes I did eat junk, but whatever I did, it didn't really affect my anxiety. Of course, when you eat healthy, I always recommend you to eat healthy because it helps your body to stay healthy. And of course that can for you help you to go through your days and give a little bit like more how do I say, you feel more better. Like for example, I did the TRE, the trauma releasing exercise in my journey, but TRE didn't make my journey any shorter. It just did lessen a little bit those anxiety, tops of that anxiety, cut it at top a little bit. So I felt a little bit more relaxed, but I still had all the symptoms. So my answer, really, my experience is, and what I have been following the people, there is no really quick fix, because this addiction healing, there is like, only thing is the time that when your brain does the work. But like I said, always try everything. Try to eat healthy, try different kind of diets, try what works for you. Because that's what I did. That's what sure I did. But the supplement thing is that I don't just do that because, you know, some people can take supplements, some people can't, they have bad reaction. Also antibiotics, I wouldn't take those if you don't have to, because of course the medicines, they can do a lot of harm. So it's just like, I'm not here to give any medical advices because I cannot do that. You know, I'm just like one person who did experience this, and that's how I help people to share my own experience. But just find the way that do things that you find healthy for you. Move your body, exercise a little bit, not too much. Eat healthy, go to the nature, and try to stay away from the people who is scaring you. That's, for me, was so important. There is a lot of negative people out there who are putting all kind of shit. There are also a lot of like people who are still on caffeine and trying to help people, and there are a lot of people who are in caffeine and they say that caffeine is not causing this. I wouldn't take advices from the people who are still caffeine if they don't know, if they haven't been quit. Christopher, yes, stay away from antibiotics. I get messed up by them. Yes, this is so important. And many people like just end up having like really, really long flare-ups because of antibiotics. They really mess up your body's natural healing. Because like I know that some people, they will end up even taking some medications, but that's not what I would recommend, because, you know, when we just eat good food and drink water and give our body to rest when it needs. Our body naturally knows what to do, and our brain does that rewiring, nervous system does that rewiring. And that thing what sucks, it's really that just takes time. And I know some of you have been watching all the benzo guys videos. You probably know the MG Peacock and that guy named Dan, the philosophical fishing. And some of you who have with benzos are having end up this falling off the mountain journey are also following my channel. But my intake also that is that many of those benzo people, they are still on caffeine. So I just hope that this is so important information what I'm sharing, that caffeine is really a heavy mind-altering drug. So I tried to get Mandy here, but I couldn't still get, so wait a second. Mandy, if you hear this, I'm gonna just try to put a new link to you. Let's try this on, because I cannot get you on. So what is this saying? It's saying Mandy B, show on the stream. But Mandy, do you have your camera on? Please put that on if you can. So maybe we can get Mandy in a minute. Yeah, I know Mandy's camera doesn't see. Well, I put Mandy to message. This is a little bit sometimes like this. Hi Petteri, do you caffeine withdrawal is as bad as benzo withdrawal? Yeah, for some people it really is. Like you can really like relate those, but of course every experience is individual. But seems that there is a lot of lot of like common in those symptoms when somebody does fall off the mountain and end up really bad anxiety, burnout, or having those brain symptoms. But I just call Mandy, so maybe I can get her here. So sorry guys, but she will be right here. Yeah, Mandy will come when she's ready. But now we can chat. Do you have any other questions or something in your mind? I'm just so grateful for all the new subscribers also. It's huge. My channel is growing. I don't know how to deal with that. I have been used to be so small YouTuber. I'm still small YouTuber, but of course I'm really happy that this information will reach more people. That's one of my mission, to spread caffeine information. Yay. I have to open my Discord here. A little bit putting these settings, because I have to take Mandy's voice from the Discord actually. Otherwise I couldn't get that function. But I have these I have these techniques here. I have learned to do this, all the settings. What does the Christopher says? Yeah, it's very individual. Some people on Facebook forum after quitting caffeine had very hard time. One woman I spoke with ended up dying because of her symptoms were so bad. Yes, Christopher, that is so true. And I know that woman. She was also I think we speak about the same in my group and everybody was trying to help her. So like I always said, when some people, naysayers, comes to endure, this is not the caffeine is not doing this. So yes, it actually does. And for some people, they struggle really, really badly. Like I did struggle myself, but I just knew that I didn't want to kill myself. Even I had the intrusive thoughts all day long. But like eating cold turkey and having these really severe symptoms can be just too much. And that's why I also say that always take care of yourself, and anything is better than ending up harming yourself. So if you are in the very bad place, then even then that time the medication can be the better. Like always, that's why it's so important to say always that you have to do what is best for you, because without the seeing person, without the knowing what is your experience, I cannot really say what to do. Only thing I can say, what did I experience and what we did experience, we speak with Mandy and then help you get through the days and to get you that trust that it gets better. Yes. Do you mean like in my group or in the Facebook? I'm not in the Facebook, so I don't have those posts. Yeah, she had severe anxiety and also insomnia. Yes, she couldn't sleep for weeks. Yes, that's true. I did speak with her couple of times, and she was very sweet lady, and yeah, she had really, really, really heavy insomnia, and that is very normal for many, and that's why the quitting cold turkey also can be the dangerous for some people, and that's why I also always recommend to taper than go cold turkey, especially if you have been in a high dose. But even that woman wasn't even the high dose. I think she was 1 cup a day. So like the answer for the questions that many people are saying, it's not always the dose. It's really is that there is no safe amount of caffeine. Like some people can just handle it more, but it doesn't mean it's healthy. Some people just fall off the mountain with energy drinks about 1 year using those, or 1 year taking caffeine. So because we always said we were in the drug over 30 years, it doesn't mean that you have to be over 30 years in the drug and then you only fall off the mountain. Some young people will fall off the mountain, end up having these symptoms and panic attacks and anxiety symptoms, even using like shorter time. So it's very individual how does our system reacts, but it is a poison. Yeah, some people are more sensitive than others. Yes, for in that sense. But of course, because it's a drug, for me, I always see this is for me as a blessing, because like I'm just so blessed that my body did end up, because I didn't know, my mind didn't know. So my body was like, okay, too much. So yeah. Yes, but just know that you just keep going and do always what is best for you. And those tapering people, always like, some people like to taper with the caffeine pills. Some people like to change coffee first into tea, and then they start to taper tea. So with that, there is in that Facebook group called Quitting Caffeine, I think there is a lot of people who have been tapering very successful, is that the word? So you can find also there some advices and ask people how to taper if you need advices. That is a really good group, but I'm not there. And then of course I have my own Discord, and there is also other stuff in my Discord too. Yes, Christopher is now 2 years of coffee and all caffeine. Yay! It is huge amount of time, 2 years, you know. So very much congratulations. Heart Hardik, I was just a good cricket player, but after quitting caffeine, I can't even connect that ball with my bat. My reflexes are slow. I don't know if it's really because of caffeine. Yes, it really can be because, I was a breakdancer too. Never slow person ever before this. I went completely unfunctional. I felt like 100 years old woman, couldn't connect my body because DBDR, if you are not just feel unreal. Some people describe it like feeling like a dreamy state or living like a dream. That's very common if you end up having these symptoms. Some people doesn't have that. They are just lucky. They have maybe 2 weeks of headaches, and that's why I know it's so hard if you are living with some person, you quit caffeine and your friend is like, yeah, but I don't experience that, like, or you are living with your family and nobody understands what you are going through. So that's why we are here. My heart goes out with you because I know then it's so you are just wondering what did happen. Many people think that they have brain injury like myself. I was just no way in hell that I felt like this. But it's anxiety, like your brain is rewiring. It's like your body is like anxious. What is happening? It wants to go back in the drug, and that's all basically. It is the nervous system rewiring also. Anxiety, burnout, it's basically also when the nervous system gets sensitized, and it just takes back the nervous system desensitized, and that's why I don't recommend ever to go back, because some people, when they start to heal, many people start to heal really well, like even after 1 year or some months, and even some people it takes a lot of more longer before they even have a first window. Like I said, some people have waves and windows where you feel a little bit better, then bad, better. Some people doesn't have really windows. They say that it's just bad all the time until they start to feel better. So it's very individual, like same in the benzo quitters. So yeah, it's like it's really like, I cannot say that your journey goes like this and that's how it goes. But yeah, I was forgetting already what other thing I did need to say. But definitely it's and can be because of quitting caffeine. Because so many people are messaging me that Anni, I have list of symptoms. Did this also happen to you? And I say, yes, it did happen to me. Yes, definitely had waves. Yes, and also that big tsunami wave that we have been speaking about. Now some people are experiencing them messaging me. Yeah, that also is normal. At some point in the anxiety recovery, there comes the spike that symptoms will come back, like it feels almost like going back in the beginning. Even it's not going back in the beginning, but that's when people say that I'm back in the acute. But that's just how our brain does it. I don't know why, but it's just does it that one time. I never have heard that will happen 2 times. I have only heard that some people happens once, and then after that they just go pretty much back to normal. And when that tsunami wave can happen, what I have here, it's about, like, for me it was 35 months. Mandy, it was a little bit before, but about around 2 to 3 years, what I have heard. Some people I have heard that they have that in their 4 years, around 4 years. So I think that can too be very individual. And then maybe some people doesn't have that too. So of course anything can be, like waves in the windows, not waves in windows, only hardship. Many people have really hard up till over 2 years, like that they only have mini windows but always having symptoms. And don't get me wrong, I had the symptoms even in my window. So even if you are in the window, it doesn't mean that you are purely symptom-free. Window, you are in just more functional overall. Like window, we mean that you are just more functional, getting back in your life, but you still have maybe a brain fog, DBD, or maybe insomnia, whatever, a little bit, but in the wave it can really feel that you are like, the anxiety is really like top of the roof. So it's really normal, guys. Chris said, I'm still struggling. Yes, don't worry, friend, you got this so good. It is a journey, like I always said. And first, when I was started doing these videos, oh my god, I cannot even watch those. But yeah, I have this Thrive. Even I didn't have my brain yet functioning. I had the Thrive in my heart, but my brain was still fucked up. So I didn't have this knowledge that I had now, of course. So that's why I'm really happy that I started to do this journey years ago, because I have get so much experience and people have shared so many stories. So if I would have just be here by myself and didn't make this channel, I wouldn't have this experience. I wouldn't have this knowledge. And it's been a huge help, of course, in my own journey. But even I was recovering still over 3 years. I was just like, it was hard to me, even 2 years, it was hard to me to like wrap my brain around that this really takes, for some people, long time. Like I said, up till 5 years to be completely symptom free, where you don't have even those little kinks that, for example, me before periods, I have these little kinks that I feel the blahness. But even the blahness is not bad. And then somebody can say, yeah, but it's normal. But no, I don't mean that. I don't mean, I know what I mean, and I know when it's this, but it's just like goes that pretty much you go back to the feeling better than you ever have in your life, for many. Okay, so Yuppie Star, hello Anni, I'm on day 2040. My anxiety is much better, but now I'm struggling with the stomach issues and my throat tightness make me feel very uncomfortable. It's good to hear that these symptoms are normal. Yes, very normal. You got this, good. That's how I felt too. A lot of stomach issues was there still. Maya, what do you think about quality coffee, for example, Colombia? Well, my opinion is it's a drug still. Even you would take high quality coffee, like many caffeine people are. Of course, you will maybe get less from some toxins, but you still have the caffeine, which is the drug. But so that is my opinion. I'm always like this my channel is always it's very strict because I just have to be, but it's just it's my opinion. So from the addiction, it doesn't help no matter how much you drink high quality coffee. If you take the caffeine, it's still messing up your brain. No, coffee is coffee, still has caffeine, yes. I struggle with simple mathematics too in daily life. When people say things, it just bounces off my head. I don't even understand what they are saying. Very normal. And this is, yes, a very good comment because, in this journey, we just feel that we cannot, even studying for me, it was just, I felt so unreal. I couldn't concentrate. Even some lives that I did in my second year, when I watched them, I cannot follow even the chat. My vision was still so blurry, even the spirit was there. And that's completely normal. That's part of the brain rewiring. But because it's just so weird, we never had, people always say that, Anni, I have never experienced anything like this. And me too, never, ever. Even I was a very high caffeine user. I could still study, work out, and do the things. So just know it's normal to feel stupid and feel that you don't get anything. But it's not meaning that you are stupid. You are still there. You are just not connected to yourself right now, but you are you, and you will feel normal again, and your brain will go back to normal, and because you quit caffeine, you will feel even better than on caffeine, for sure. I promise you. Or why was your reason to end up this falling off the mountain journey? Some people will end up to this, of course, with benzos. But of course, even if you are in benzo quitter, I do recommend it's like if you are using caffeine, it's always, if you just can, to try to quit caffeine in any other. Yay, Mandy!
Hello.
Hello! Pretty lady! Yoo-hoo! I was already trying to get you here because I started to I don't know if you can come in, but there you are. Easier than I thought. Yes.
Yes.
So welcome, my sweet friend from Texas, Mandy.
Thank you. Hello.
How are you doing, Mandy?
Good. Very well. What have you been talking about?
Well, we have been just having a chat. You can, if you wanna, you have your phone. If you wanna follow the chat, there have been some questions.
Good idea.
And I also said in the beginning of the live that if somebody wants to ask questions for you in Finnish, then I can translate the Finnish questions, of course, to you and then translate your answers in Finnish. But otherwise, we're gonna stay in English in this live.
Cool. And I need to charge my phone. There's 8 viewers. Cool.
Yes, and we have been also talking about all these symptoms and how hard it is really, and all that stuff that we have been speaking with you already. But now in this live, I'm really happy to hear, because even I have been doing these lives for you about a year now or something like that. I think I don't really have never done the live that you will tell your story, how did you end up this falling off the mountain with caffeine and quitting this drug. So in this live, I think you wanna share something about your story, maybe.
Yeah, I've shared it a little bit, but not into too much detail. I'm reading the comments real quick.
Yes, so you can get on the track where we are.
Yeah, quality doesn't matter, right?
Yes, it doesn't.
Because there's some people, I think it's 3% of coffee grown doesn't have pesticides. But so, I mean, that if somebody thinks that that's what's important, but that still doesn't, it still has caffeine. So, and we know how toxic caffeine is, and the damage that it can do to us along the way.
Yeah, Maya says, can you tell how I can stop this, reduce to once or every day? Yes, tapering probably can be the best way.
There, just real quick, my neighbor, I don't know if he was taking it, but there's this plant called kratom. It's a green tea or plant. It's a plant. It's natural because, all drugs are natural, but it's still mind altering. And a lot of people use it to get off of heroin, opiates. And it has saved them. But then there's also people that take it for pain management because it is in the family of the opioid. I think it's also in the family of caffeine. I don't know too much about it. But even caffeine, as we know, can numb us and kind of give us pain relief too.
Yeah.
That's why for some of us, when we quit, we really experience a lot of aches and pains.
Yes.
But at the same time, just like it gives us energy when we're on it at first, it can take our pain away, and then we start having aches and pains on it and in withdrawal and recovery. Anyway, so because this kratom was kind of brought back into my life with my neighbor, he put it in our plant. He said he found it in the yard. I don't know. He's coming off of other things, but anyway, my husband found it. And so I had, because when you're going through this journey, we look up a lot of post-acute withdrawal videos. We find a lot of people suffering, healing, going through benzos. Mm-hmm. And there's also weed. There's also some kratom post-acute withdrawal videos out there that I found a long time ago.
Yeah.
But since my neighbor had just reintroduced this idea to me with the kratom, I started I showed my husband some videos, and there's this one lady, and she tapered. So she tapered for a year. She was on it for 3 years, and she was on a lot. Like she was on like, I think 40 to 60 grams, if I'm not mistaken, which
Grams.
compared to caffeine, 1,000 milligrams is a lot. 1 gram is like a lot,
Yeah.
so they were taking a lot. And then there were some people arguing because she was talking about it's comparable to coming off caffeine for some people, like the acute withdrawal, the first couple weeks,
Yeah.
not to mention what we've been going through for months and months and months and years. But my whole point is that she tapered off of it, because I do believe that we should taper off of any mind altering drug.
Yes.
We really should.
Yeah.
Especially because we know about it with like anti-anxiety meds, the benzos, antidepressants. And sorry, my allergies in Texas here are just, and I think the more that I'm healed, I really do believe that my allergies, because they have gotten better and better. Hold on.
Yes.
But I do believe that they're going to get even better the more I could just keep, improving. So that's very interesting. But it's not bad. It's just I can just tell I'm a little verklempt. Anyway, she tapered. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, antidepressants, of course, you don't just cold turkey off of those. Everyone knows, or most people know, majority know, to taper, right? For like not a couple months, not even a year, like 2 years, 3 years to taper, depending on how long you've been on it. So she tapered off of the kratom and still went through her own journey. She said it was really bad for like 18 months, 2 years, her post-acute withdrawal journey. And she tapered for a year. So that's about 2.5 years. And that's what we experienced. We got started doing better around 2.5, 3 years. So it's very interesting. But yeah, I think with any mind-altering drug, it's best to taper. Now for us and a lot of people, because we were so clueless about caffeine, we didn't know. We just cold turkeyed, and so that'll bring me to my story. But
and end up
we didn't know.
Panic attack. And even some people do cold turkey and they don't have the symptoms. So then we don't know about everyone's nervous system. But for example, when people try to quit and they say to me that Anni, I'm just struggling so bad, and then if they are not fully like cold turkey yet, I say that try to taper on, because like that's just the safest way. But then the people who do quit cold turkey and they have maybe 2 weeks of symptoms and that, of course I don't say that okay, go back to tapering. Like if they are healed, they are healed. Like that's also like what I hear the stories. Not everyone is gonna have post a good withdrawals, but very many in this channel
you never
do,
know.
of course. That's why we are here.
Yeah, you never know. But at the same time, I think they even say with alcohol withdrawal, and this is just statistics, this is just what I kind of remember, that 75% of people that quit alcohol will go through some type of post-acute withdrawal. I don't know how extreme it'll be, because I quit for a year. I did have anxiety. I know when I quit alcohol and I was still on caffeine, I know I was having, because we talk about that. We talk about the mild, the moderate, the extreme, and then the panic, and then maybe even the catatonic. The level 5.
Yeah, that's good. Like the extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, but
we add
so I was,
layers. We have extra
and then
layers for catatonic.
Yeah. And even in panic, I think there's different levels to panic mode, but always in that mild, moderate stage when we were in caffeineism. And then I think when I quit alcohol but I also ramped up my caffeine consumption from like, I don't know, 400 or 500, maybe to 1,000 milligrams a day. I don't know when I quit, because I was having some, I think, withdrawal symptoms and anxiety, which is all anxiety. But I hadn't fallen off the mountain yet.
Yeah.
As we say.
We say because fallen off the mountain, and like Mandy, you said it, that because you get that from Cato. Cato is your mentor, and Cato does videos. We have shared those. I can link to Cato's channel. He's amazing. Motivational guy, did go through this with energy drinks and did fall off the mountain. What if like using 1 year or about?
Yeah.
So like that's how it gets tricky about the falling off the mountain, because you don't have to be over 30 years on the drug, like I said. Like
Right.
that's why the caffeine is the dangerous drug, because you don't know what is when you're gonna just like take that so much that your body is saying, oh my god, now I'm gonna just end up panic. And
You don't know.
you don't know.
Yeah.
And so don't play with that. Don't play with that and hype the dose. Don't do that.
No. But how beautiful is it that we quit? We did fall up the mountain, and now we know that the 30, 35 years of struggle that we had while on caffeine, the PMS and the this and the that, the anxiety, the mild to moderate, because even having mild, moderate anxiety, you still have everything under the anxiety umbrella, the OCD and the symptoms, because your body's saying, trying to give you warning signs. That we had our whole life that we just didn't know. So
Yeah.
So do you want me to still say how I quit or why I quit?
Yes, if you want, I just read. Okay, let's take the Mandy
Oh,
story
I'm not
now,
looking
and
at
then we can take the more questions after that. I just read the Hadik said, in the last 3 to 4 years, I have quit severe nicotine addiction, mild alcohol addiction, caffeine addiction, weed addiction, betel nut addiction, and I'm not targeting sugar and smartphone addiction. That's like, wow, amazing job. Really
I was
good.
saying hello to
Really,
Maya.
really huge.
Hey, Hardik.
Very, very proud of you. Yes.
Yeah, that is amazing. To be free from, it's so important. I have a little story about that. I have so much to say. We haven't, when was the last time we made a video? 2, 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
It's just like always something new and interesting that I'm learning. But and I know I was talking about something else, but I'll probably come back to that. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about we'll talk about that later. But because I quit. I quit. Like we can get into that. But my neighbor, I was talking to him, another neighbor that's across the street. I was talking to him yesterday, and so my other neighbor that I was talking about, he always likes to introduce me to people as, because he's sober, and he likes to introduce me to people. Oh, Mandy's really clean too, because I'm not on sugar or anything. And he's like, and she's not even on caffeine. He always says that. And he goes, I quit caffeine. Because I always tell my neighbor, the Kramer, well, I shouldn't say it. Well, it doesn't matter. That you're still on a drug, like because he's sober from things that could really go to jail for, and shit like that. But still, I'm like, but you're still on a drug, and he gets mad at me. He gets so mad at me, and I'm like, I'm just saying it's a drug. I'm just saying it's a drug, and he's like so mad. He's like, so you mean I'm not sober because I'm still on caffeine? So anyway, he introduces me to like all his sober friends that come over, and they go to their AA and NA meetings, and so he introduced me to this neighbor across the street that I went away. I don't see anything on the.
Yeah, I will put your back.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're back.
And this other neighbor that's across the street, I see him very rarely. So what I found out is really interesting. So as my close neighbor said, she's even off caffeine. The neighbor across the street said, oh, I quit caffeine 2 years ago. Or no, he said, I quit caffeine cold turkey. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, my ears just, open up, and I'm like, really? And I can tell he's younger because, I'm in my 40s, and I could tell he was in his 20s. I found out later he's 27. I found out his story, why he quit. And I said, well, are you off of everything? He goes, well, I smoke weed. And I was like, oh, well, you're still on, because, what we feel is to be off all mind-altering substances. And so he just starts explaining, and then I start finding out he has anxiety, and he just thinks that the anxiety that he's had is like just normal. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're still on weed, so you could probably be having some symptoms from that. But he starts telling me how he really couldn't even leave the house until about now, his 2-year mark. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah. So yeah, you maybe fell off the, because I'm not really knowing much. Because he said he had really, really bad acute withdrawals. He was like, for 2 weeks, he was sweating in bed, and the headaches and the this and the that, and the aches and pains. But I said, there's something called post-acute withdrawal with more of the like psychological mind-body connection. Yeah, the brain rewiring. And he was like, oh, yeah. but he didn't really go into like the detail. But as I'm talking, and we talked for like an hour. He's a talker, I'm a talker, and I can tell he had anxiety. But when he said that he hadn't really started coming out until about recently, like really started connecting with people, and I was like, yes, I was like, once you get more recovered, you really start to pick up connection with nature, with other people. He goes, yeah, people aren't as scary as I thought they were. And I was just like, wow, he
Yeah.
really has. I was like, you're
Yeah.
still healing. I was like, you're at 2 years. Yes, you're on the weed, but like you are, I believe you're recovering from caffeine. And
Yeah.
I said, hey, if you want to, wean off the weed, it'll be even better. So it was really interesting. It was really sweet talking to him. But
Yeah, and one thing before
young,
you
that's so great.
continue, like some people who quit, and if they're still on some form of caffeine, like this is one big thing that we also need to always repeat. If you quit caffeine and you still use some chocolate or maybe here and there some tea, you are not caffeine free. You can
Right.
maybe not even have withdrawals because of that. So always remember
Yeah.
when you want to quit the caffeine, quit all forms of that. Period.
Yes, that's so true. And I did ask him, I was like, are you even off of chocolate? And he said, yeah. He's like, I've never really been a chocolate person anyway. And I was like, oh, well, I was. I was. But
Me too.
so I do. I always make sure when I talk to people, if they say that they don't drink coffee or something, or they don't have, yeah, I always make sure any form of caffeine. And but then I find out he's on weed, and that's probably what has not caused him to completely freak out. And that's something I want to bring up too. We talk about this a lot in our last few videos, how we're noticing a lot of people that quit are using other substances, maybe their whole journey,
Yeah.
or maybe around 2-3 years they start using stuff. And so there was, we talked about that, but then there was someone I reached out to, I think since we made our last video, and they're ahead of us. So I just like to reach out sometimes and just say, just ask people how they're doing. Because sometimes I still have stuff around my cycle, like I'm tired and like certain things. Oh, and that guy yesterday,
Kinks. We have kinks.
kinks. Yes, we're working out the kinks. It's so true.
Yeah.
But he did tell me, which most people say, like when I told him when I first quit, when I would get up, and that's if we do have time, I have my whole list of my symptoms, but that I've never done that I wanted to do. And I said, yeah, I was like, we were talking about plant work. And I said, yeah, I couldn't come out here either in the beginning because when I would bend over, I'd get really dizzy. And I meant in the beginning because I don't get that. I get kind of like a little bit of a like, woo, but very, very few. But I'm talking like getting up off the couch, dizzy.
Yeah.
I don't get that anymore.
Yes.
Or when I would bend over, it'd be like, woo.
Yeah.
And I got that on caffeine too. I had that on caffeine. But he goes, oh, that could be an iron deficiency. And I was like, no, I'm not iron deficient.
Oh.
I was like, it's anxiety.
Yeah,
But anyway, he doesn't get it all. But what was I saying before I went to that little thing about iron? Not the symptoms. I was saying something. I have so much to say.
That guy. Was it something about his journey also?
No, I went back to him because of the iron, but I was saying something. Does anybody know what I was saying? I have so much to say.
Yeah, that happens to me too always. I have.
Yeah. And it's just a little like before that would have freaked me out because I'm not like blanking out, but in the beginning my mind would like be completely blank and it would freak me out and I would start getting more, I would be in that vicious loop of anxiety or like.
Chris asked when your dizziness go away. Mandy.
Which kind? The kind when you get up from like seated? Because now I can just stand up. Like I can stand up really fast. Like even from sleeping.
Yes.
And stand up really fast to go to the bathroom when before I would have to sit on the bed, get up really slow. Now I can just.
Yeah. Me too. I was always having DBDR or fogginess and
yeah.
Because for me that wasn't the scariest symptom. This is also interesting that some people in this journey you have some specific symptoms that is the scary for you. For me, DBDR wasn't scariest. It was very annoying have that, but not the scariest.
Right.
For me, the scariest was the weird brain stuff inside my head and not able to focus or concentrate and deep depression, anhedonia, completely unmotivated. Even the intrusive thoughts were there all day long. I had those all my life. Even they got extreme, like 90% up, but at
Yeah.
least I knew what they were. So
Yes.
that's just
Yeah. I know what I was talking about now, but yeah. But it comes and goes. Here's the thing. I wanted to draw a diagram because I had one, but I know what I was talking about. I was talking about other people using other substances, which is I really want to get back into to talk about that. But I had this diagram that I put in the quitting caffeine group. I think around like my 13 months. I've shared it with you,
yeah.
Ani.
Yes, you did.
I don't know if people have
It's
seen it, but it was just
amazing.
kind of like a time, kind of how we go up and up and up. But at that time when I drew it, I didn't know about the big wave. I've talked about that before.
Show it, show it, show it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's on a photo. Maybe if I sent it to you, is there any way you could put it up on the screen?
Maybe I can try. You can send it on the Discord.
But I have so that was my old kind of how I had it in my head. And now I have a new one though, where I mean, I could talk about, I can just do it like this, but if you draw it out, I'm not a very good artist, but
Yes, you
basically
are.
it's,
And maybe
no, I'm
next
not.
yes, you are. And next live we will show that we're gonna like I'm gonna
Yeah.
just have it there.
But I just want to kind of say, so like, and this is another good thing about the girl with the kratom recovery. Her name is Grace and Sunshine or something. She's super cool. She just really talks about how, in the beginning, especially, even in the taper, how, and I've said this too, like we are, because sometimes we feel so bored. We feel like we're not accomplishing anything. And she would make these small goals because she got it. See, she understood that she's recovered. She's tapering from kratom. She understood the symptoms. We didn't when we
Yeah.
quit. We had no clue it
We
was from
did.
caffeine. We were scared. So
Terrified.
that's kind of the tricky part about it. That's why this drug is so awful because like we didn't know. Some people do. Some people are aware. And that's why we want to always make these videos and you make so many because it's so important to get that information out there so people are more aware and more aware.
Yeah.
Unlike we were. And that's okay that we weren't. But so she talks about how making those small baby steps and just being sober and getting through the day is accomplishing something. And then that first year, and then the second year you make bigger goals and the third year you make bigger goals. And she talks about it as she's at 4 years and she doesn't say like I'm still healing, but she says the things I'm still learning through my recovery journey. Like she understands that it's really a recovery process. And I've been there for like a year. Like I really, really get it.
Yeah.
And you just start to see it in your own improvements and kind of like what Chris said, how he felt good for like 2-3 days and then it came back. And, I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's how it goes. Like it'll keep happening that way until it just fades away. But so let's just say like the first year we're down here, we're down like really low base level.
Yeah.
And then we have the ups and downs, the windows and waves, the ups and downs in that level. Then the next year we're like up a level. And you can tell like every few months, every year, like every 3-4 months to every year, you can really see it. You're up in a new level.
Yeah, and every
but you
3
still have
months
this
there is
symptom.
some kind of hump also. If you go through this journey, you will notice about 3 to 4 months, every 3 to 4 months, you will see some kind of
About every 3. Yes, like every 3-4 months, and then to every year, and then you can kind of, as you look back on your journey, when you make it, you keep recovering. If you stay free, you'll see through your own process kind of how it's been going. And so that's how I see it, that every year we're upgraded. So like, but even in the year, you're going up and even though you're going up and down. So let's say you're at year 3, you're at a higher level, but you're still experiencing symptoms maybe. But you have like more dopamine or more purpose or more joy or more happiness, more motivated, more creativity coming back, but you still experience symptoms. But the further along you get, you're able to kind of ignore the symptoms because the anxiety is getting less and the real you is coming out more. But so it can get frustrating around like 2 or 3 years. You're like, oh, I still feel symptoms. But then you get to a place where it's so much higher of all the good stuff, the motivation and joy and all that coming back, that you're just able to ignore it more until it's just gone.
Yeah.
and it does go. And so that's not to scare anybody. It's the fact that, like, especially like when I start talking about my symptoms, I've never done it before. It's all symptoms of anxiety, first of all.
Yes.
But at the same time, my time frame, your time frame, anybody's time frame, even your own individual time frame, it's not to scare. Like, it's just the way that it can go. If it doesn't go that way for you, then that's great. But if it
Yes.
does,
Yes.
that's the healing. Like, it doesn't last. It does
Yeah.
not last. Kato talks about that in all his videos. It doesn't last forever. It's just when we're going through it, it's hard.
Yeah.
The anxiety causes the doubt.
Yeah.
No matter how much you've studied or no matter how many videos we make, we're always kind of wondering, am I like this forever? Or
Yeah.
maybe this new baseline is the new me. You know, it's always messing with us. Like,
Yes.
because it'll, like, we become smarter than it. It's like, oh, well, I'm in a new baseline. And then it'll go, but maybe this is the new you in the baseline, even though you know you're improving.
Yeah, it's
Believe
just
me, I
that
get it.
as long as you have the doubt, anxiety is all about the doubt. Anxiety is about worried about like how you're gonna feel in the future, and depression is like you are just like not wanting to do anything anhedonic.
Yeah.
But once you
Yeah.
have it even little bit, it's still anxiety, and that's why it's so hard because people are quick fix, quick fix, quick fix. But
Yeah, no
no.
quick fix.
But
And
let's take a little bit chat. So
yeah,
Arctic asked, when
I
did
keep
your
forgetting.
tiredness go away? For me, it started to go away after 3.5 years. Really, like I had still tired days. And Mandy, how about you?
Oh, I still have
Oh,
tired days, but
still.
I went from, I call it, and I talked about this in the group a long time ago. I made a post about it. I went from emergency exhaustion, which I really think a lot of that,
Same.
because you can really feel that burnout, and you start to understand the more you recover, like, wow, this really was all about exhaustion
Yeah.
and burnout.
Yeah.
And when you're that tired, you get anxiety because it's like, it feels awful. Then you're wired tired. Sometimes you can't nap. Sometimes you can.
Yes.
Sometimes you're sleeping. Here's an interesting thing. When in the beginning and then in my big wave, I was super wired tired. But then after about 3-4 months, then I was sleeping like 12 hours. Then that was a time for like a different type of healing. And now I'm back to, here's what's interesting. So I say I'm tired, but it's still anxiety. Like, I can tell it's confusing. It's like, is it anxiety or is it tiredness? And if you look up, if you go into the anxiety center, CENTRE, and
Yes.
you just type in any symptom that you have. The reason why I like going in there
Yeah, I
is
will.
because he gives all the,
Yeah, I will put that anxiety center link there. And there was
yeah,
one question: how long until I feel my best? And is 5 months a good time for being off? I was drinking 400 milligrams a day, and now 5 months caffeine free. And I said it can take some time because it's a really good that you are there where you are, but it's just know that it's very normal to still have symptoms. Like it
yes,
just
that's
can
what we're
take
trying
time.
to, yeah, I guess that's what we're really trying to say, that, like,
Yes.
it's just part of the journey when we're going through it. And again, like the kratom lady, she got it, that it was a process. We don't get it when we quit caffeine, that it's a process, but it really just is. But about the tiredness, so like now so I'm sleeping 8 hours. I sleep, sometimes I wake up, but it's not insomnia anymore. I wake up and I think, and it's not that wired tired feeling or high cortisol feeling. But I wake up 6:30, 7:30, and I'm ready to get up. And I'm ready to, like, go through the day, even though I'm tired, but I'm more motivated. So it's like it doesn't bother, like the tiredness doesn't bother me, and I know it's going to go away. But anyway, I just want to show like how messed up I was. It went from like emergency exhaustion to fatigue to tired. Like, it's so much better from where I was. So for me to say, oh yeah, I'm tired on some days, it's not every day. Some days I'm really, really good now. But
Yes.
sometimes I'm just tired. But compared to 50, 60 other symptoms and emergency exhaustion, just being a little
Yes.
bit tired, I take a nap, or I just chill, or I just go to bed early, and then I get really, and what I've noticed too, this is so awesome. I've never had this in my life. Let's say that I go to internship and I do massages and I work and I'm a little tired. I come home, I rest. I might feel, tired or whatever, or sore because I'm doing massage, which I couldn't do before. in the beginning of all this. I didn't care and I just couldn't do it. But anyway, I love it now. I love it again. I love it more than ever before.
Yes.
But so let's say I'm tired, I'm a little sore. I think I'm going to be sore the next day. No, I'm not sore anymore.
Yay.
Like I'm actually healing when I sleep now. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, okay,
same.
we're always healing when we sleep, but now that I'm up here and more in a recovered level, when I sleep, instead of it healing like 30 years or the anxiety or whatever was, because we say 30 years, but still this could happen with somebody that was just drinking it for a year. But I am now sleeping and I wake up, like I said, 6:30, 7:30, and I feel like I might be a little bit kind of groggy, but nothing like I was before. And then I get up and I make my smoothie, I drink some water, I take a shower. I'm excited to go to internship or to go to lunch with my dad or my mom, whatever I'm doing for the day. And I don't feel sore. Like I feel like I can really feel like my body is doing what it's supposed to do when we sleep. It is
Yes.
amazing. And I know it's only going to get better. So it really does get so much better.
For me too, like my insomnia was like the really big symptom, like up till 3.5 years, and after that it started to get better. I still wake up one time peeing, but I can get back to the sleep. But compare what my insomnia was, like sometimes I had nights that I slept good, but my insomnia was all over the place. And during my bad wave, it was like just all over the place. So that's just very normal. Some
Yeah.
people, the symptoms can a little bit vary, but insomnia is really huge in this. So Hardik asks, why is it that I only feel bad in the morning times and after around 4 p.m. I feel okay?
Okay.
It is interesting.
I have it. I have
Yeah.
the answer for that. So now, you know how I said I'm starting to feel better in the morning. I'm like waking up earlier and feeling better in the morning now, but I can get kind of burnt out at the end of the day because
Yeah.
I'm tired. I need to sleep. I still need some healing. But that's how I was too. I felt like complete crap in the mornings. I needed to sleep
Yeah.
all day
Same.
in the
Same.
morning. I felt depressed when I woke up. It was awful. I don't feel depressed anymore when I wake up. I might be a little tired, but like I said, compared to like depression, all these other symptoms, plus emergency exhaustion, to just feel a little bit tired on some days. But yeah, I was the same, Hardik. I would feel like complete crap. And then later in the day, I would feel better because everything's just processing out. Everything, the brain is just filing, doing all its files. And it's like, you want to think of it. Some people say like, oh, your circadian rhythm's off, but it's really just the process. It has to be because it happened to me. I've heard it happen to so many other people. You'll start to see the further you go. And it happened to me around 20 to 24 months, or almost at my 2 years. I started getting up earlier. And I never had that before. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But then I hit my tsunami wave. And then now I am 17 months post tsunami wave. And I'm getting closer to that 20 to 24. Because we say this, we don't know if this is true, but like one part of the brain and then the other part. Now I feel like the other part of the brain. So it's like mirroring. I'm getting closer to that 20 months when I experienced it the first time before the wave. I hope that makes sense,
Yeah,
especially
it's
if you haven't been.
interesting.
Yeah. So I'm now starting to get up earlier like I was before the tsunami wave.
Yeah, some
And the
people
tsunami
doesn't
wave,
have. Some people don't like. Some people the tsunami wave is not so long.
yeah,
Some people they feel really amazing at 4. Some people have had the tsunami at 4. Yeah, it's a little bit like we don't really have all the brain science here, but we do know
right.
that everyone heals in this. Like and like we have said, what we have heard of 5 years is when the people who like had it like us have been
Yeah.
reported that
It's,
they are symptom free completely.
yeah, it's so different for everybody. But if you do have it that certain way, however you're healing, and again, I've said this to Hardik before, I know I have, and it's so true, and I want to say it again because it's so true. Whatever you're feeling that feels off, that feels weird, where you say, like, why is this happening? Why do I feel this way at this time? And why am I having this symptom come back? It's because you're healing, and it won't, when you're recovered, you won't have that.
Yeah,
So
and
whatever you're
you don't
questioning,
even like this channel will be pew. You don't need this
yeah,
channel. That's
you're
my
living.
goal. That's my goal.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
busy.
Even
living.
I do
And
have some other good videos going on, but this caffeine stuff, when you heal,
you do.
you don't need.
Yeah, you won't need it. But yeah, so anytime you're questioning anything, that's just because you have anxiety, and it's about the healing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mordecai, I have
Um,
had that too before. I would feel so tired and sick in the morning, and then I would have this wave of energy at night or feel better at night. Yes, know
yes.
that it's
Yeah.
very normal. You are healing in very good way.
It's all about healing. It really is. Mordecai, I remember that name.
Yeah, I wish I
Hello.
have had Annie and Mandy in the beginning its journey somewhere in YouTube. I would have watched all the videos, and even still I
I
would have
know.
doubt all the time, and I would say that
Yeah.
those are weirdos. I don't believe that they have saying stuff
Right.
at me. And one thing that I want to share, I was just so pissed off in my journey. I have always shared this because I had so much these physical symptoms and pain and neck pain, and I couldn't exercise like before. And then I was just always, yeah, but those people, they don't know anything about exercise. Like, why cannot I exercise? Like, why this is like this? Like, I have to be some, I don't know what is going on, but yeah, you do able to exercise more and more when you heal, and that's just like some people can, some people can't. And of course I was pissed because before that I was functional. I went basically, like I said, I went to the state of being very high functional anxious person, OCD person, to complete
Yeah.
burnout.
Me too.
So of course it's hard, and so my heart goes out with you also, who like feel that you are able to do nothing. You will.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
So
healing. You are doing, again, we are doing something. We're healing. Like it's so huge to think of it that way. When you really think of it that way, that we quit drugs that most people are still on, like that's so huge because it's a drug to get off of. It really is. Like it's such a big deal to get off of caffeine and other drugs. But definitely caffeine, because that's the underestimated one that no one they think it's fine. And it's such a big deal. So whatever you're going through, just know you're recovering and that you're free. Like that's so you are doing something. You're free from an underestimated drug. How huge is that? That's so cool.
yeah, and your brain will start to get that dopamine for the so like little
Mm.
things from the food, from the exercise, and you will
Yes.
come. You are so humble after going through
Mm.
this. Hopefully, hopefully because we did became very humble. Like I think we were empathic before, but not like
Yeah.
this experience really changed you from the soul level, that you do
Mm.
respect. Like nothing feels bad after this. I can say, throw me some
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
throw me some
Yeah.
things. Like it's put things into perspective.
It does. Um, yeah, just going. So I'm on spring break right now,
Yes.
and which is, yeah, it's so funny that I'm on spring break at 45. It's cute. And I go to lunch with my dad a lot. I go to lunch with my mom a lot. Just the other day, I went to lunch with a girlfriend of mine who I was very close with, that I stopped talking to. I think we've seen each other twice in the last 3 years, 8 months. And I was I was driving to lunch with my dad, and I'm like, I can go see. She called me. She had called me and caught me up on. She was going through some stuff in her life, so she caught me up, and I said to myself, I need to go see her. I can now, because I was putting it off for a really long time. I'm like, I can go drive to her and see her like I used to. So, but here's the thing, because I wasn't only in caffeine addiction, I was also drinking, and she works at a bar. She makes good money. Like she's such a good bartender, and that's a little side note, but I would go and see her randomly. I would just kind of sometimes surprise her and go and drink at her bar.
Yeah.
And now that I'm sober from everything, I think that was it wasn't it was a lot of it was because I was going through a lot of symptoms and I couldn't go, and then a lot of it was because she still works at a bar, and that's I don't really want to be around that. Not that I can't, not that I crave it or want it. So now I feel like I'm at a place where I could go. So anyway, I went, drove out there, surprised her. I went and had wings. I love to eat.
Yeah.
one had wings, and I sat there with my water, and I'm the only one, drinking my water. But one thing I wanted to say, even though I'm more functional and all that, and that's really cool. I think it was our very first video we made 10 months ago. We were talking about how to help people going through this when no one understands, the
Yeah.
naysayers or their family, their friends, no one gets it. And I started talking and I didn't really get to the point. I started talking about my father-in-law and all this and how he's like, there's no way you're withdrawing from caffeine still or healing from caffeine or blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
But no matter what I want to say is, no matter who it is in your life, your friends, family, neighbors, and they don't understand, it really doesn't matter. It feels like it in the moment that people are not being as supportive as you need or want. But when you start doing better and you start doing well, because for example, so I went and had lunch with my mom yesterday and I was feeling so good, so good. And we went and ate and I said, hey, let's go to the mall and walk around. And she's like, no, I don't really want to do that. And I was like, no, it'll be fun. She's like, it's late. I don't want to do that. I was like, let's go, let's do it. And
Yeah.
we're at the mall and I am feeling so good. And I could tell she's not, because she quit caffeine too. And she's a year behind me. So she's at 2.5 years. And I could just tell she wasn't, and she didn't fall off the mountain, but I could just tell she just wasn't feeling as good. And I'm feeling so freaking good. No one cares. No one cares how good I'm feeling. No one cares how good I'm doing. I care,
Yeah.
but no one gives a shit. No one's like, oh, and even my friend, she saw how good I'm doing. She can see that I look, at 45, I might look a little tired, but whatever,
You look
however, I think I look
amazing.
freaking good. I feel good. I feel like I look
Yes.
good.
Yes.
I'm, a good soul. We're all good souls. But
Yep.
my point is, she wasn't giving me a party when I went there because, the last 3.5 years, all I'm thinking is like, I just want people to know I'm healing. I just want people to understand this. And I get to her bar and I'm just sitting there having water in my wings. I'm talking to a regular. He's pretty cool. And I'm just like, I'm doing so good. And then like I'm at the mall with my mom yesterday and I can tell she didn't feel that good. I'm feeling so good. And she's not like, Mandy, I'm so glad you're feeling so good now. Like I just remember how hard it was for you. None of that.
Yep.
We get to a point where we're really doing well. And the people that didn't believe or they didn't, I mean, my mom believed me, but they still don't understand. They don't get it. They're confused. I think it's this. I think it's that. But we get to a place where we're doing so good. It really is all for us. And
Yep.
they don't, and even some people, like my father-in-law, it was months ago, he said, because he could see how good I was, and he was like, well, good for you. Good. You figured it out. You figured out what
Yeah.
it was. And no
Nobody
one
is
cares.
cheering. Yeah. Even my
We
boyfriend
care.
is now like he's like, what is happened to you? You are weird. Like why you are so funny? This is not normal. And then I was like, I'm always like, yeah, let's watch this series more and let's get some food. And I have these ideas all the time and like
Uh-huh.
spontaneously, like I used to watch, but in caffeine was messing up my brain. But I really liked that like in the child I was, hey, let's do this, let's go there. That's just amazing because I couldn't be like
Yeah.
that so long time, so it's funny.
Yeah. It really feels childlike because when we were at the mall, even though my mom's 78 and I'm 45, we're walking and she's just kind of quiet. My mom's always kind of quiet and I've always been kind of the talker and fun and goofy. I swear to you, because we almost went to the movies, but we didn't. We're going to go next time because it was late. It was almost 8 o'clock. But we almost went. So that's really cool. But, she's, standing there and she's shorter than me. She's like 5'7" and I'm like 5'11". So I'm just kind of like towering over and like walking and I'm using my hands and I'm talking. And I look over and at the one of the windows and I can see my reflection and I'm going like this and I'm talking, I'm excited. And I thought to myself, oh my God, it's like I'm 13 or 10. I felt like a little kid just talking. But even though, because like in my mind, I feel so young, but I'm 45 and she's 78. And I feel like it was when I was a teenager and I'm just like in such a good mood. And I'm like, wow, I really feel so good. And I just wanted to get on here today and just share that because like it really does get better no matter how long it takes. It really does get better. And no matter what naysayer you have in your life, it doesn't matter because when we get to where we're at, they don't we're feeling so and then you start to get to a point. Cato says this in his videos, you get to a point where you're like, I'm the only one that feels good. Like you start thinking like no one
Yes. Yes,
No
I can
one
see
feels
that
as good as me.
sometimes. I can see that sometimes when I'm with the group and all people drink caffeine all the time and they just get more and more and then I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Like
Yeah.
I'm only one who is just like,
I've,
yay, life is good. Nobody, but yeah, it's just
yes.
you will just get used to that state, but nobody else will cheer you up. You have to cheer yourself. You have to cheer yourself
Yes.
because. Okay, let's take a
Yes.
little bit more questions. So Chris asked Mandy, "Are you back eating what you want?"
Yes. I eat everything but sugar. Everything. I eat everything but cakes, donuts, cookies. I eat fruit, carbs,
Same,
fajitas, like every single
same.
thing you could think of besides sugar. And
Yep.
I know some people, oh, the fruit and the carbs are in sugar. I don't.
Yeah, there
I'm
are always people.
I'm doing so much like I can eat. And my digestion, oh my gosh, my whole life I've had terrible digestion is so amazing. Um, but I can gloat. I'm not gloating. Like I've come from some shit, like I really get how bad it can be. And that's another thing too. When we're going through this, we feel like everyone's suffering like us and like we're suffering, we're doing terrible, we're unhappy. Oh my God, is everybody else unhappy like me? To going to like feeling so amazing that like I don't think anyone feels this good.
Yep.
And then you're just talking and happy and you got all these ideas and everyone's looking at you like it's almost like you can't share how happy you are with people because they won't believe it or they get jealous. They're like,
Or they don't
so you
care. That's
or they
also
don't
it.
care.
They don't care.
And you keep it to yourself. I'm sharing it with everybody, but you get to a point where
Yes.
you want to keep it to yourself because it's special because you're like, I've never felt this good. And it's like this really special feeling of like, wow, I get to live the rest of my life with just like peace, energy. And I said I was tired, but again, I'm talking like I went from emergency exhaustion to this. Like I do have energy. When
Same.
I say tired, it feels more like an allergy because I know that, and like I said at the beginning, I know that that is going to get better too. And it's not all the time that
Yeah,
the
it
allergy
will.
feeling. It's not.
It will.
Um, yeah.
And
So what is being said in the
I did
chat?
say, can you talk about exercise? How much to do? What will happen if we overdo? Okay, so I can say from my experience, I tried so much to do even harder exercise in this journey. So what did happen to me if I did overdo? I did get like a lot of symptoms, flare ups. Like my anxiety went up to the roof. I started to panic. I started to have more DBDR. But then sometimes I felt like good in my window, like I because I always tried to exercise, but I just had to accept that I couldn't do amount that I was used to doing. So I went to do
Yeah.
slight yoga, stretching, swimming, and just walking. And I tried to humble that's where I am. And for me, it was really good lesson because I was before used to that, oh, I could do stuff with my body and then I couldn't. So now I appreciate everything. So you really have to try. And you don't gonna like, there is no way that you overdo it in that sense that your body will tell you when you overdo. Like, you cannot really super overdo it because it just feels so bad. Like, you will find the right amount for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I mean, going from not being able to work at all to doing 3 hours of massage at the internship is really huge for me. And I know I'll get to a point because even talking to my mentor, he said, you're going to get to a point. He goes, you're going to call me one day soon and be like, hey, I'm at the gym. Because I probably could go to the gym now. It's just something that I'm not really, I don't know. I have never been a big workout person. I was trying things like yoga and things, but I think that's going to be something that I know that that's where I get a lot of dopamine or endorphins from a workout when my body is able to do it more. And I think around like 4 years, 4.5 years for me, I'm going to really be able to work out more.
Yes.
And that's just going to be where I'm at in my journey.
Yes. Yes, and that's why we shouldn't compare ever. And
Mm-mm,
that's why
ever,
like
ever.
people who comes to say this is not about caffeine anymore. So I don't even answer those comments anymore. Like, why you are in my channel? Like,
Right.
why you are in my channel? Like,
Why are you worried? Yeah.
this is how it is, and this is what I have been doing for my work free just helping people, putting all my energy to helping people for years for free. And this is what I do, this is what I speak about, and this is what I see. So that's
Yeah.
my answer to that. It's not about caffeine. What else?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've heard that eventually you start to feel like a kid again, and it's great.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Mm.
it
And
is.
then you'll feel like a kid and feel so great. And then you might have some days where you don't feel as good. And that is part of the process. I know that's why Cato says humble yourself, because you do get excited that you start feeling really good. You're like, I've got this. It wasn't as bad as I thought. You should thinking it's not as bad as you thought. Like, what? I don't know if other people have thought that, but I have. Like, what? And then it hits you a little bit and you're like, okay, a little humbled. Like, slow down. Like,
Yes.
so you got to take the good with the bad kind of thing until it just all smooths out. But what I wanted to say, what I was saying earlier about checking up on people that are ahead of you. So this person that I checked up on, they're at 5 years, and they were saying that they still have depression and stuff. And I was just like, what? And because I haven't had depression since the wave, so
Yeah.
17 months. Now I've
Yes.
had my moments where I just feel blah or I feel tired, because I really believe when we feel a lot of depression, it's because we need rest. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey has some good videos about that depression, I've said this before, depression, depressed, deep rest. It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
We're just tired. We just
Yes.
need rest. We're still healing. I'm not saying depression isn't real. It's very real. The symptoms are very real, but it's because
Deep
we did
rest.
something or something's going on. We need rest. But so interestingly with that, I asked this person, they're saying that they're so much better, but they still have this, that. And then I'm just like, and for some reason I thought that they were completely free of everything. So then the next day I asked them, are you smoking cigarettes? Are you doing anything else? And they said that they were smoking weed. And I was just like, oh, well, okay. Like no comparison. So that's why we shouldn't even compare ourselves to people that are completely free of everything, because like me, I came off of all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, same.
Um,
Same.
But at the same time, I know people, when it's just anxiety recovery too from falling off the mountain with the drug, that it can take a long time, but not always. And
Yeah.
that is just the way some people heal. But it is about healing, and you will get to recovered. Like you don't have this forever, but still. So no matter what, sometimes people are doing other stuff.
Yeah.
See that a lot and a lot and a lot more. And yeah, so just don't, I know it's so hard. We want to, because even me, I was having like a day and I messaged him because he's at 5 years and I just wanted to see how he was feeling. And then it turned my okay, good day to like worry, until I messaged him the next day and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's smoking weed. Weed
Yeah.
really makes you
That's why I
demotivated.
always say that when people get discouraged and they compare the people ahead of them, that are they completely free what they are taking or using, because we never know. So that's why I recommend not to do that. Focus your own journey where you are and what you do, and even if you are not quitting everything and you can't, it's okay. It's about your journey. Like we are in this way and we share what we do, and this is important to
Exactly.
us, to be completely free of
Exactly.
all mind altering stuff. But I know it's not the journey of everyone.
Yeah.
And then
And I think you and I, even though we're sharing our experience, we're getting less and less a way of wanting to save the world,
yeah.
and more of just like, we're just talking, we're just sharing. Like we enjoy helping the people that have quit, the people that are going through, people that have fallen off the mountain and that are healing. They're the ones that are really doing the work. I really get a lot of pleasure out of
Yeah.
sharing my experience, knowing that it could possibly make someone feel like, okay, I get what this is. I get, no matter how long it's going to take me, I'm recovering and I'm going to feel amazing.
Yeah.
And that's huge for me, but I can't save the world, and we're not supposed to be that way anyway. That's control. Like I really am
Yeah.
starting to feel like I'm learning all about the codependency issues I had, and addiction. We've talked about that a little bit in another video, and like how it's about trying to fix because I was so broken at one point.
Yeah.
Broken, not saying the words like I am healing, I am sober, I am healing, I am loved. That's my new thing right now,
Yeah.
with the spirituality. But
Hardik's sake, also, can I blame my overuse of smartphone to caffeine withdrawal? Yeah, of course, because probably you feel like disconnected and bored and like
mhm.
dysregulated. That's just normal. So don't worry about. Don't blame yourself. It's normal. You will just when you have the back to normal, you do all the things that you wanna do, and you are not in your phone anymore.
100% because I was on my phone a lot in this journey, doing research and bored and all that. And then, like, for example, when I am at internship or I am at school or I am with my loved ones having food, my phone is in my purse. Like, I don't even check it. I'm not looking on it all day. It's only because we're lonely and it's kind of like our friend.
Yes.
But I don't think we get an addiction to it because I can go 4, 5, 6 hours and it's in my purse and I'm not
Yes.
looking. I don't even go in
Yes,
to
like
look at
I
it.
was to the teaching chat GPT to AI to caffeine withdrawals, like I was arguing with that. And yeah, I have teach that good. Now the chat GPT says to me that, yeah, post a good withdrawal could last even years for somebody, but it hard. So they learn. Even the AI will learn.
That
That's so funny. Yeah, but just a little bit
is so
humor.
funny.
Yeah. So it's normal.
But yeah, we don't. I've thought that too, because we think of so many things like, is my phone causing me an addiction issue? And it's no, I don't think so. Because you get back to wanting to be out in that connection with people, like people, real people trump the phone. But when we're just at home with no one else, then the phone's all we have. But real people, real work and connection, all that trump the phone. So your
Yeah.
brain's automatically going to want to go to the live people, to the work, to the making money, to
Yes.
the creative stuff. It's not.
Yes. Are there any specific foods, healthy foods that help with the caffeine withdrawal? I wish there were any specific. I just would say that eat non-processed foods, like the pure foods, like the pure. If you eat meat, like good quality meats, the good fruits. If you eat them, like try to just eat the non-processed, like actual food. That would be my advice. But will that help
Yeah,
the withdrawal? I don't know. I
yeah.
guess you can just try.
If some people know, like Chris knows my journey with carnivore. I did it for a year, and I thought I only did it because I thought it was going to help me heal faster, and it did not help me heal faster. So the time does that, but I tried it because I was desperate. And I believe that, like, yeah, eat the healthy food because that's better for you in general, but it's not going to necessarily help you. This is just my belief. It's not necessarily going to help you heal faster, but like if you eat McDonald's all day and shit all day, you're just going to feel like shit and you gain weight. And like, so the good food isn't
Yeah.
necessarily going to help you heal faster, but the bad food we should stay away from anyway. And also,
Yeah.
just being caffeine and alcohol free, I don't want bad food. Like, even if
Yes.
I'm like around my cycle, being a female around my cycle, I might sometimes crave like bread or like, but I'll have my husband make sourdough or something like that. But still, it's not the way it used to be. Like, I really don't think I can gain too much weight like I did before. Like, I'm 157 at 5'11", and I was like 200 in addiction. I just couldn't. I had a food addiction too because I was so stressed from the caffeine and the alcohol and hungover, like that vicious cycle. So yeah. We have a video called Quick Fix. Like, there's really no quick fix with this, but of course, again, you're just naturally going to want to eat healthy, I guess. Not for me, I
Yeah.
did anyway. Healthier.
Yes. Hardik said, I think in this journey, if we allow ourselves to suffer, not running away from the pain by using our smartphone or eating junk food, if we allow and open ourselves to pain, it will better.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I can't read that yet because I'm on Chris's thing.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, Chris
he said
said that.
exactly what I said, and also about the nail biting. I
Yeah.
was the worst nail biter, and I don't bite my nails, like just shit like that. Yes.
Yes, yeah, I
So hard
didn't see the,
accept.
yeah, Chris have had, yeah, good comments.
Yeah, he
Yes.
said the exact same thing. When you're better, you notice the bad habits going away. Yes.
Yeah,
I think
same. I did have the nail biting also, and I had that a lot of in addiction. I still have my weekend treats, like I eat sometimes pizza and chips and stuff, and but I mostly eat
yeah,
very healthy. So, and I
right.
have gained weight since I started to work out more. So, some of that probably is muscle. I'm not too worried
Oh, for
about
sure.
that. If I'm gonna be really fat person, I will do then funny videos about that. But
Yeah.
let's see if that happens. Probably not.
Well, one thing I'm interested about, because like we were talking about the workout stuff, because I've never, like I said, I've never been a big workout person, but when Kato and I were talking a few weeks ago, because my body, I had the cortisol belly, the cortisol hips and stuff like that. And he knows that I'm going to get into work in the next year or so. And he's like, your body's going to change. So I don't even worry. Like if I gain weight or lose weight, like I don't even really,
Yeah,
yes, I mean, my
ego
ego
wants
makes me
to. But if you look in the
exactly.
mirror, like I always like to say, like look in the mirror and not in the scale and how you feel. If you feel good and
Yeah.
energized and you exercise, you eat food, like that should be the measurement and not just like, oh my God, I have gained some pounds. Like if you gain muscle, of course, if you go to
Yes.
the gym and you gain muscle, your weight will go up because muscles weighs more than the fat. So that's like the
Right.
common sense.
Yeah. And just from him saying that and everything he's told me has come true already, that even if I can't relate to it yet and understand it. So I just trust and like he's like, your body's gonna change. So again, my ego sometimes makes me think like, oh, I'm, chubby or I'm flabby. Not chubby, but like skinny fat or whatever. But I just know that when I'm 100% recovered, even though I'm so much better, that my body's going to change. I just know it. So I don't worry. I try not to worry about it as much with like the diet. I just eat and even though I'm gaining weight, I needed to. I'm 5'11" and I got down to 132 in the big wave. I was so skinny.
Yeah. I still have
And
troubles
now,
to know about those, but I know that's not much. We in Finland we have kilos and centimeters,
mm,
but I'm trying to. But anyway, yeah,
yeah,
it's
we're different.
yeah, but
I
no
was
matter.
skinny. I
Yeah, I
was.
know.
So,
Yeah, very very. So it's really good that putting more weight. Does
so I
quitting
try not to
caffeine
worry
make
about
you look younger? I'm 26. You are baby.
it.
You're
Baby.
gonna look like 10 years old for sure. Yes, yes, of
Right.
course it does. Like because
It
it's a
does.
poison. Nobody who drinks like tons of poison, like we were in 1,000 milligrams a day, about more or less. Uh, that's not gonna make you look very pretty when the years go by. So that
Yeah.
I can say. So of course, if you don't drink the poison, it's gonna be beneficial for sure. But who knows? Maybe some people
Am
still.
I there?
No,
The
you are
screen went
not.
away.
I couldn't. Can you just put the? Uh, did you lost the link? Do I have to make more or new? We did lose Mandy a little bit, but that's okay. I will just create a new link if. But you can still probably, Mandy, hear me. Can you? No, I cannot see you. Okay, so I will just send you a new link. If this let me do that. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. We have been here in the 1 hour 34 minutes. Yes, I get you back. You are now back.
Okay. Did we lose everybody?
No, we didn't lose, but I think we are now a little bit hour and a
Oh,
half.
you
So like
lost
I
me.
think we can, if you don't, how much stuff you did still have.
Yeah, I wish I would have quit caffeine when I was 26 too, but we didn't. It's okay. Quit when we quit.
Yes.
Do you want me to go through my symptoms? I was going to I never did my symptoms. It's all
Yes,
anxiety
yeah, go
anyway,
through
but
your symptoms. I will get a little bit food. So I want to skip the symptom part. I'm going to get hella away from here because I don't want to hear the symptoms. I have
I've been putting this off because I don't
Yes,
know. I don't
say
want
the
to relive
symptoms.
it.
Everybody wants to know the symptoms.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I just want to preface it's all anxiety symptoms, really. Even the ones that you don't think are. And it's all about healing. Okay, so my beginning symptoms after I quit, and all these symptoms just got better and better, even if they came and went again, like every year or whatever, we're in a new level up, they just got better or lighter or went away. And if they come back, it's only because it's part of the process of processing out. So digestion, I had gastritis in the beginning. I went to the doctor for that. I was confused. So most of the stuff I was super, super, super confused about. I wish I would have just known it was anxiety. Would that have made it easier to go through it? I don't know. Maybe it gave me something to do to go all those doctor's appointments, so it kept me busy. But either way, it was just scary. She tried to put me on medicine. I had that. So I had gastritis for about 4 or 5 months, went away on it. So I asked her, I said, now that I'm caffeine and alcohol free and I don't take pain meds, because I was taking a bunch of like NSAIDs and stuff, like Advil. She said that it was because of the Advil, the NSAIDs, and I think it was because of the caffeine or the anxiety. Because when I quit, my anxiety went so high that it made my stomach. So she said, yeah, it'll go away. So I stopped taking the meds that she gave me. Loss of appetite that happened bad twice in the beginning and in my tsunami wave. I had this like weird stomach tightness, diarrhea with yellow poo, constipation, I had hemorrhoids. Some of this stuff's embarrassing, but oh well. But we all go through it, so the ones that go through it understand it. And my sleep, I had insomnia in the beginning that I had never had before. It was about 2, 3 months of really, really bad, like waking up every hour with like super high cortisol, super, super wire tired, just like awake and like feeling that fear feeling. And then so in my sleep, I've had 2 really, really bad night terrors where I wake up and I see something, but it's not there, but I think it is, and it's scary. I scream. Really crazy, vivid dreams, scary dreams. Sometimes I'm like once a month, I was like yelling at people, really, really yelling. A lot of processing out. So I do know that when we're sleeping, we're healing a lot. And then when we have the dreams, I know it sounds weird, but like the crazier they are and the scarier they are, and the more vivid they are, that's a lot of healing happening, which is interesting. So, like I said before, I think I said it earlier, in the wave, I wouldn't sleep very well. And then after the about 3, 4 months wave, after that, I was sleeping, especially in the beginning, I was sleeping 12 hours. And then every month or two, I would sleep like an hour less until I got to 8 hours. And then it happened again in the wave. I had insomnia again, really bad for about a week. And then it was off and on. And then my sleep got better and better. And now I sleep. I love sleep. Love it. And Kato even said my sleep's going to get even, he's like, you're going to just freaking love it. But I already love it. So sometimes when I'm having a good day, he'll say, you're at like a 3 on a level 10 of how good it gets. He goes, it gets so much better. And I'm like, I don't even know how. I had dry mouth. I had sleep apnea. I had internal vibrations when falling asleep and when waking up, just like shaking, just kind of, and it was always worse around my cycle. So many symptoms were worse for females around our cycle. So then after like the really, really bad insomnia of waking up every hour on the hour, I had it to where I was waking up at like 3, 4, or 5, and I'd wake up for like an hour and do a lot of thinking, like an hour or two sometimes, not every day. But it wasn't that high cortisol. It wasn't that high. It was just, I was just laying there. And I have a lot of profound thoughts at that time, like a lot of like ideas.
Same.
And I did watch this video one time where this guy was saying, when you wake up, instead of getting on your phone, when we wake up, we can do a lot of healing. We can do a lot of like processing and all that idea thinking and stuff like that. And it's so true. So I just wake up. I don't get on my phone. I just think. I do a lot of thinking of like ideas and stuff. It's really neat. So I enjoy it. I kind of enjoy because I can go back to sleep, and I'll go back to sleep for about 2-3 hours after that and get more rest. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't happen all the time. And I know eventually that will even go away. So anxiety, all of it's anxiety, but then what we really kind of understand is anxiety. So like I said before, I would get up and I would feel like I would have to hold on to something. I'd feel so faint and so dizzy. And then the dizziness turned to just kind of feeling like you're loopy, but it wasn't that feeling of like falling or fainting. I was so tired, I felt like I was gonna die. I used to say in the very beginning, I would go to the doctor and I'd say, I feel like I'm a robot and you're just going to take the batteries out of my back and I'm just going to like fall over. And it's scary because it felt like dying. It felt like you were so tired you're going to die. Mm-hmm. Like you're just going to like, your brain's just going to shut off. Or I'd say I'm an appliance and I'm like, I'm working and then you just unplug it from the wall and it just stops working. I just felt like I was going to stop working. And scary, crazy, awful, intrusive thoughts, sexual harm, all these. We have an intrusive thoughts video. Tinnitus, the ear ringing. That went from, I had that on caffeine. So a lot of these I had on caffeine, but more I had in when I quit. And then it just ramped up from like mild to moderate to like extreme panic. The tinnitus was like 45 seconds, very high frequency. And then now it's like 4 seconds sometimes, and the frequency, I can barely even hear it. And I'm just like, wow, that's so much healing happening that how much that's gone down. Earworms, like the song stuck in the head, that's a form of an intrusive thought, I believe. And that gets so much better. DPDR, the derealization, depersonalization, felt like I wasn't real. When I was talking, it felt like, are these words coming out of my mouth? Yeah, very strange. But that didn't scare me that bad. Like with like Anya, it didn't scare us. But it was weird. It was annoying and like, oh gosh. Yes. But it's a lot of crying, a lot of anger, confusion, needing to eat, low blood sugar stuff. Which Anya, you made that or you had that video the other day with, and you talked a lot about the guy. What's his name? Jason Christoph, and how he talks about how caffeine messes up blood sugar, and it really does. So then when we quit our blood sugar, because it's all homeostasis. Blood sugar is a form of homeostasis, trying to get cold. I was hot and cold.
Temperature changes is part of the homeostasis. That's why people cannot stand cold or hot.
Yep. I could not regulate my temperature because that's homeostasis. It's all homeostasis, but yeah, you can really tell it with those symptoms. Feeling woozy. I couldn't shower. Yeah. Especially in the waves, in the beginning and in the wave, I would go like 4 or 5 days without showering. First of all, I didn't care. Second of all, I couldn't stand in there. The water scared me. My heart was pounding. I had heart palpitations. Yeah, I went to the doctor, got my heart checked. We talked about that in other videos, but irritability, can't handle stress. So my skin, I had stomach and face rash, which didn't last long, and I think that if I would have known, because that happened in the beginning, it didn't happen in my wave, or the tsunami wave. But I think if I would have known what it was, that would have been nothing. Allergies, I had a lot of food intolerance allergies. I had tight throat, like feeling verklempt, like felt like a lot of inflammation, just kind of like tightness. Yeah. Very common. Very normal. Very common. Cato talks a lot about that. His lump in the throat tightness. Depression, oh gosh, right? Mm-hmm. One of my worst. I hate it because I'm a very fun. I mean, we're all fun. Once we get healed, we're like that child, like we're fun. Like who doesn't like depression? Depression is. I don't know anyone. So like for us, we didn't mind the DPDR. I don't know anyone that goes to this is like, I didn't mind the depression. Like no one likes the depression.
Nobody likes the depression. And we
so
talk
awful.
About deep like anhedonic depression. Where you do.
Yeah. So I have exactly what I have. I have depression / deep depression / anhedonia. No joy. Nothing. Nothing brought pleasure. Nothing. Then blah, low mood, bored. But that's different. You know, that's a higher level of the deep anhedonia. Jesus. We always say that, like, you could have handed me $1 million. You could have taken me on a trip. I did not. You could have bought me the best clothes from Milan and Paris. I did not give a shit. Now, I want it all. So then, needing rest, fatigue, exhaustion, brain fog, brain and body exhaustion, where I felt like my body was very limp, heavy, arms and legs heavy. I just felt like I was walking backwards or going to fall backwards. Yawning. Oh my goodness. I've never yawned so much in my life.
Yeah.
Tired. We already said this, heat, cold, temperature regulation, really bad brain fog. I would call it mashed potato brain, balloon head, cotton wool brain. Just felt like my brain was just stuffed with something. Pressure, headaches. I didn't have a lot of like migraine type headaches. And if I did, I would only take an Aleve because it has no caffeine, only if it was really, really bad.
Oh.
Which was very rare because I didn't even, because Cato told me, he's like, you can take stuff like Aleve. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. And I finally did last year. It was really bad. Now I would have headaches and head pressure, but like I'm talking like the really bad migraines.
Yeah, and those
It
are
wasn't
really,
that.
really common, even those really bad migraines. I had a migraine
Yeah.
that I thought that I'm gonna actually die or pass away. But those did pass. I also take some
Yeah.
medication, but very rarely because I was
Very
so
rare.
too
Yeah.
scared of taking anything. Of course,
Yeah.
not caffeinated, nothing that contained caffeine.
Yeah. Nothing caffeinated and nothing like a benzo pain med or
No.
anything like that. This was like a NSAID type, Aleve or ibuprofen or something like that. Because somebody said at one time I was taking stuff and I was like, no. I mean, at the very, very beginning, I did take, I've talked about this before. I took bupropion, what's it called? Wellbutrin for like a month and a half. I started tapering and the doctor wanted to put me on it, but that was when I first quit and I was so fucked up. Like, I don't even know. It might have helped me. And maybe it helped because I quit cold turkey. It might have helped me not be as anhedonic. Panic attacks, scary. The panic attacks and the depression for me were probably the worst. Panic attacks are terrifying to me. I just can't handle them. I don't know who can, but not fun. I really thought I was dying. Like truly, I really thought I saw death. Like they were so extreme. They happened in the beginning, and one happened at the beginning of my tsunami wave. And I told my husband to take me to the hospital. I really thought I was dying. And I had already been through this for 2.5 years, and I just was like, nope, this is because I'm carnivore. That's another reason why I was so upset I did carnivore, because I thought that was messing with my heart. I thought, but it wasn't. I thought, because my anxiety was just so bad.
Yeah.
I thought that it was causing me the symptoms, really, but it wasn't. And yeah, so pain. I had really weird hip pain that would come and go. And again, a lot of my stuff in my cycle.
Yeah.
Neck
Ovulation,
tight.
period stuff, always.
Yeah, and I do have that up here. I've talked about this a lot. So when I was on everything and I had PMS, that was in between, that was in the luteal phase in between ovulation and period. And then after about 5 months, everything switched. 5 months quit. Never happened again. My luteal phase is great. I might sometimes get like slightly kind of like not irritable, but like if someone if not irritates me, but if someone says something that's like really, really, if somebody says the obvious, I don't know why that bothers me. I'm just kind of like do a little eye roll or something, but nothing like the irritation that I had and irritability and rage that I had. But then I went to ovulation and period. More anxiety in ovulation, more depression in period, and different symptoms. And that really is all about healing. So interesting. So tight neck, really tight, like going forward, going backward, going sideways.
Yeah.
Very weird.
For me, all the time up till the end.
Yeah, and I know people who are still on chocolate, even a little bit of chocolate, that didn't have that, and then they quit chocolate later in their journey, and then they start having it. And I'm just like,
yes, so
don't
remember,
underestimate.
guys, don't underestimate chocolate. We hear this all the time. Don't go back to chocolate. Chocolate contains caffeine. Dark chocolate,
Yeah.
what is 1,000 grams, same than 2 espressos, depending what mark.
Yeah.
or
It
I don't know
really, like, if you
about that
haven't,
one.
if you're just still, if you quit all the other forums and you're still on it, it's going to make it easier. It is. But then if you eventually could, make it easier while you're withdrawing from the liquid stuff. But if you eventually do quit the chocolate too, you could have some, because it does, like it helps kind of with nerve stuff. It helps with pain management, I think. Again, like we talked about that in the beginning about like how it's kind of in the opioid family or whatever. Interesting, because I know a few people it's happened to. Like, don't underestimate the chocolate. Um, but yeah, we've had that the whole time, the tight neck and stuff. And Cato does talk about how when his anxiety was pretty much done and it was all better, he still had body pain. So just know that if you're feeling really good in all other aspects, but you still have some body pains, back and neck stuff, or whatever pain you have, that's still kind of part of it, and that will go away too.
Yeah.
Um, so my ribs, like in my sternum and like right underneath, like the bottom of my sternum would always be really painful in the beginning and in the wave. Chest tightness around my heart. I don't know why it was on the left side, but it would just be like crampy on this side, and it was muscular. Cato talks about that in his videos. It was like, it's not your heart. We have muscles in our chest, and I would feel that, but of course, it would scare me.
Yeah.
And I had that in the beginning and in the wave. My lungs, because lung stuff is anxiety. We talk about, and we know like with the panic attacks and stuff, the shallow breathing, but I couldn't take a full deep breath. And then I would have this, I don't know many people that have talked about this, because I always thought that this was with smoking. Like I would have this, it wasn't when so I couldn't ever take a deep relaxing breath in the beginning. And now I can, it just relaxes me. It's so amazing. But I would if I breathed in through my mouth, I always thought it was from smoking because it wouldn't happen all the time. And now I know it's anxiety. I would breathe in through my mouth and go into my lungs, and it felt like this kind of like numb, kind of cold, weird, kind of almost like my lungs weren't there. Like it was just kind of like this weird kind of, I don't know if you ever had that. I'm pretty sure it's anxiety,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's almost like this icy feeling. It was weird.
Yeah.
It's anxiety. But anyway,
Yeah.
I know that I am missing probably like 10 or 20 things, but that's about it. Yeah, there was other stuff. I don't know what they were, but I had them. But that's a lot, right? That's a lot.
And like the chat says, Mordecai say that I feel you are describing my symptoms. I had intrusive thoughts, earring, poor sleep quality, songs stuck in the head, especially when trying to sleep, irritability, and can't handle the stress. So yes.
Yep, it's all anxiety. It's all since you're healing.
Yes, very normal.
It's amazing.
Feels like I have allergies when I wake up, anxiety and depression, says Mordecai. Yes. So this is so cool that Mandy, you also did the symptom live. Like you now guys see these symptoms that I had and now Mandy said are very same like. Even there can be some that we like you didn't list now and because there were so many, but this is not like anything crazy or rare. Oh yeah, it's crazy when you have the symptoms. It feels crazy, but it's not something that.
Yeah, no.
When people say
and it can be
caffeine. Yeah.
It can be with any drug withdrawal because it's anxiety. That's why it's so similar. Anxiety. Like in the beginning, where I was in the group and they're like, this is very similar to the benzo people. And it's like, yeah, because it's anxiety. Like it's it really is. I know it's so awful. Believe me, right? I just,
yeah, is my voice now better? Somebody.
Jacko, yeah, I can hear you. The voice, somebody couldn't hear you. Could you hear me? Okay, Annie, turn your volume. Okay. Yeah, the headaches for sure, the migraine. So I have a friend, she just hit 5 years. She's doing amazing. She's working full time, feels love and happiness, works out, does all the things, living life, right? And she would I never got migraines in my period in addiction. I would have headaches and stuff, but I would always take stuff and drink. And if I had a hangover, I had hangover. I mean, my hangovers were awful. Like I don't even know why. I know why I drank because I was medicating the anxiety, but the worst hangovers. Anyway, that was just a symptom I didn't have. I didn't really have migraines, but she did. She had migraines in that ovulation. Um, what's it called that I was talking about? The luteal phase for a week and a half. And then going through withdrawal and healing, she went from like a week and a half, 2 weeks down to like, I think she has one every now and then in her period for like a half a day. And it was going to like 4 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. Like a lot of the time she doesn't. Every now and then she'll have it for about a half a day. She knows it's
Yes.
going to go away completely and get better. But yeah, migraines are definitely part of it and will go away.
Yes, definitely. Is the voice
Mandy is
now
much
better?
louder than me.
Yeah, I did put a little bit milder than Mandy's voice, but I love that the voice is hearing because usually people say that we are too mild. So
Right.
is the voice now better? Yeah.
It is for me.
Yeah.
There is a stereotype that women are sad. They eat chocolate. Yeah. It's a very thing with like, oh, you're on your period, have some chocolate. Because it helps. It does help. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't, right?
Yeah. So yes, we have this now.
12 viewers.
Yes,
That's amazing.
12 viewers, and I think now it's about soon 2 hours. We're gonna just continue more stuff in the other lives because like I don't wanna keep this too long. People don't like to watch too long lives. So we're gonna just, if that's okay for you, Mandy.
What?
That we don't do too long for this live.
Oh, to end this one? Yeah.
So we're gonna just now take, because there is so many people there. So if you now have some questions still, let's take a little bit questions if you want. And
yes. There's so many people.
Thank you for so much sharing the symptoms. It's gonna help
My
so
pleasure.
many people, and it's so important that people know that this is normal part of the process,
So
and they're
normal.
not crazy.
Not crazy at all. Oh, that's the one thing. You're not crazy. Yeah, thinking I was crazy, thinking I was just broken. No, we're healing. One thing I did want to say is I am getting more and more ready to make my own channel. And I'm going to talk a lot about caffeine, but I'm also going to talk about other addictions and, spirituality, moving forward, healing, just plants. I love doing plant work and
Yes.
but yeah.
I'm excited, and we're gonna subscribe all for Mandy. Yeah, let's put the chat something that Mandy make the channel. Cheer up a little bit, people, because I have been waiting that for years. That channel.
I know. I just wasn't ready. I don't know. And plus, I've been in school. I have a month and a half to go.
Yes.
So my dream is to kind of live. This is my dream because I live here with my husband. He still drinks, and we love each other and all that good stuff. But I just want to live 30 minutes. Galveston's 30 minutes away. I just have this like dream of like living on the beach and working part-time, even though I'm going to have a degree. It's kind of working part-time and just chilling and making some videos and just for like the next year, just kind of continuing to just, recover in peace. When I can start working out, I know I'm like good, and I know I can work out, but anyway, that's what I want to do. So I'm going to make videos then and just kind of continue, we'll make videos still together. You'll come to my channel.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. So it'll be good.
I will be remembered in the YouTube, the girl who quit caffeine and had years of symptoms. That would be where people remember when I'm dead. But that's okay. But that's okay. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. You are the OG. I mean, Kato did his, but he has like 8 videos. You have what, like 200, and you are the OG. You are the one that was, I couldn't have done it. There was no way. I was too vulnerable that I could have made videos like you. So you are very special. We're all special.
We all are special and the same. You're
special. We're all special. There's a movie called, I don't know if anybody likes dance movies. It's old. It's called A Chorus Line. There was, on Broadway, a chorus line for years, but there was a movie in 1985 with he was so young, Michael Douglas, and it's called A Chorus Line, and it was a movie about a chorus line and how they became in the chorus. But there's a part in there where she's like, "We're all special, BB, Sheila." I have that movie, remember? But anyway, it's really good. If anybody wants to watch, it'd be good because oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about not being able to watch TV or listen to music. That was a huge symptom. Oh my gosh. Not the whole time, in the way, even in the beginning. So weird. It was like too stimulating. I didn't care about the storyline. You know what's really interesting? Someone told me that they could watch black and white movies, but not color. And I'm wondering if it has something to do, the color has something to do with being stimulating, because the black and white isn't as stimulating. Because it's okay. Like, it's okay if we're recovered and our bodies are at homeostasis. We can listen to loud music, but in the beginning, you can't listen to music. It sounds distorted. It sounded weird to me. Like, I would hear a song on the radio. I would try to listen in my car. Because lately I've been jamming in the car. I would just have it quiet if I went somewhere. But every now and then I would turn it on and it would sound weird. I'm like, did they redo that song? Because it just sounded like muffled. And anyway, I told you I knew I was forgetting some symptoms.
Yes, and
but now
say
music,
good luck, Mandy. I will definitely follow you. Yes.
Oh, yay. But now music and movies are like, they give me so much joy. But I think that if somebody is in that state where they can't really watch anything too stimulating, a chorus line would be really good because it's kind of slow and it's cute. It's cute.
Yeah, you guys are both heroes. Thank you for everything. Oh, sweetheart,
yes.
you are. And you too are amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I would be. I have been 26 and quit caffeine, but like you said, we all quit when we quit. We shouldn't be thinking about that.
But how amazing is that to be that young and to get it? Like,
yes,
props to you.
You're gonna feel just so freaking amazing. Like, you're gonna think, or some friends of you probably who have energy drinks, you are just like, yeah, but I have tons of energy without anything.
Yeah. You don't need it and your brain's working. You're probably going to like start businesses and run your own company. Like, your brain's just you're going to have ideas and, it's good. You're going to have the energy to work and to make money and to do whatever you want to do. It's going to be amazing. And or if you just want to hang at the beach.
Want that like young people would have this information. Of course, the older ones too. But for young people, this is so important because you are making the future world. The young people, the world is in your hand, the young ones. So that's why I'm so excited to share this also to young people. And I want to educate some young people in the schools in the future here in Finland. I don't know how that goes. Any teacher will take me, but I would like to give some lessons and PowerPoints to the in high school or even like the younger ones about caffeine, because there are lessons about alcohol and about weed and about other drugs. Why not caffeine?
Drug-free, yeah, because caffeine is the gateway. That would be interesting. Here's something. I know we got to go, but so my mom was a teacher. I have a lot of teachers in my family, my brother and just other people. And just yesterday, because I'm getting a bachelor's degree and at 45, and but it's not a teacher degree. I didn't go the teacher route, but you can now do this like alternative certificate. So if you have to have a bachelor's and then you can do an alternative certificate. And I'm thinking about doing that. I never in a million years would have thought about that. Because it does kind of make me nervous because we've talked in other videos about the patterns and behaviors that we learned along the way and being a pushover and people pleaser and stuff. And like, I don't really know if I could handle the kid. I know once I'm like fully recovered, I could, but kids, they try to get under your skin and they try to pick on you. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like, I think if I applied and I got it, I wouldn't be able to start this August for the new school year, but I think I'd be able to start the next school year. It's just something I never in a million years thought that I could do something like that, especially in this recovery. And now that I'm getting more recovered, like that's something I'm wanting to do. Yay. It's so cool. I don't even know if I'm going to do it, but the fact that like we really heal, guys, it's amazing. Is there any other
Yeah, I will follow your channel,
Comments?
Mandy, when you make one, and I will see you guys in the next live. Yes, thank
Yes.
you.
Did you experience bloating and burping in an extreme way? Yes. And my
Yes.
mom has that real bad.
For me,
She
it was
burps and
burping all the time and like extreme reflux symptoms.
yeah.
Like,
Acid reflux it can be caused from like the just the acid and the caffeine, but it's also an anxiety symptom for sure. And
yeah, so both.
sometimes every now and then I'll get that terrible. So see, I forgot about this symptom. I'll get like terrible acid reflux. Not a bad, not all the time, but when it happens, it's happened maybe like 3 times. It almost puts me cramping so bad, but then it goes away. And I'm like, I used to think before, like, oh, it's something I ate. No, it's just the way the body's healing. Again, any symptom that you're feeling that doesn't feel normal and you've gone to the doctor and everything comes out fine, it's 98% anxiety. Like, still go to the doctor. You know, we talk about that a lot. Like, still go to the doctor and rule everything out. But we did, and it was anxiety. It really is. It's amazing how eventually one day you'll get to a point where you're like, oh yeah, I had that symptom and it went away, and I don't have it anymore. It's a symptom of that's how you know it's a symptom, because it's gone. It goes away. Even if it comes back and goes and comes back and goes, it goes away. Okay.
Yeah.
I know we've
Okay,
talked.
thank you for everybody, and I will also do TRE live in English about that TRE trauma releasing exercise live, where I a little bit show how I do it and explain how I've been doing that for years, and show maybe how you can start to practice that, but not giving like any specific instructions, because that you have to also make sure that that's something that if you want to do that. But I will do in the future also live about that in English. So
That'd be awesome.
and other kind of life. But now I will thank you, and hopefully I see you in our next lives. And just remember,
Yes.
you got this. You are doing so good
Yes.
work. Just stay sober. And thank you, Mandy.
Yep. Thank you.
I'm so grateful for you doing this work and helping people also.
I'm grateful for you too. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. You're doing
Have a
great.
good
Just keep it up.
weekend. Keep it up.